Devoted fans have scoured every frame and page, convinced they had uncovered all the hidden meanings and subtle details. Yet, some truths stayed beneath the surface, subtle moments and insights that only later came to light through candid cast interviews, directorial commentary, or even clarifications from J.K. Rowling herself. These revelations weren't the obvious Easter eggs or plot twists fans proudly spotted, but rather the overlooked masterstrokes, behind-the-scenes stories, and creative decisions that reshaped how the wizarding world is understood. Now, join us as we take you through a few things that the casts have shared that most fans couldn't catch on to even after all these years, showing that the magic still holds surprises. Harry Potter mania and how the boy who lived took over the world. When Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone first appeared on bookstore shelves in the United Kingdom in June 1997, it looked like any other children's fantasy novel. The initial print run was modest, just 500 copies in hardback, many of which went straight to libraries. Yet within months, this small book about an orphan boy who discovered he was a wizard began to spread by word of mouth, creating a ripple that quickly turned into a tidal wave. What began as a children's story soon transformed into a cultural event unlike anything modern publishing had ever seen. The rise of Harry Potter wasn't instant stardom but a phenomenon that built its reputation step by step, drawing in readers of all ages and backgrounds. By the turn of the millennium, the series had become more than just a collection of books. It was a movement, an identity, and for many children, their first unforgettable reading experience. The craze it sparked was so widespread and powerful that it would shape a generation and alter the landscape of popular culture. At the time, children's publishing rarely made international headlines. Popular series like Goosebumps had certainly found wide audiences, but they were often dismissed as light entertainment rather than cultural landmarks. Fantasy, especially, was seen as a niche, with Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings considered a classic but largely confined to literary and genre circles. In the midst of all this, J.K. Rowling's story looked unassuming, considering that it had been rejected by multiple publishers before being picked up by Bloomsbury. From the beginning, there was something different about Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Teachers noticed that reluctant readers were devouring it. Librarians saw waiting lists grow longer and longer, and parents, expecting to humor their children by reading aloud, found themselves hooked on the adventures of Harry, Hermione, and Ron. The book's secret lay in its accessibility. It blended the whimsical charm of a fairy tale with the suspense of a mystery novel, set against a magical world that was detailed but not overwhelming. For children, the idea of receiving a letter to Hogwarts was irresistible, and for adults, the humor and clever plotting made it far more engaging than most children's books. Soon, families weren't just reading Harry Potter. They were living it, discussing it, and sharing it across dinner tables. By the time of the second book, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, the buzz was undeniable. Sales soared, translations into multiple languages began, and J.K. Rowling won a string of awards. The third book, Prisoner of Azkaban, cemented the series' reputation as not just a publishing success, but a cultural phenomenon in the making. Children began dressing as wizards for Halloween, clutching makeshift wands fashioned from sticks. Schools organized reading clubs, and friendships formed around speculation over what might happen next. Early internet forums buzzed with theories and fan art. The true turning point came with Goblet of Fire in 2000. By this point, Harry Potter wasn't just popular, it was dominating the global stage. The book had an unprecedented first printing of over 5 million copies in the United States alone. To ensure fairness, publishers coordinated international release dates so children in London, New York, Sydney, and Tokyo could open the book at the same time. The mania had officially arrived. Midnight book launches became legendary. Fans queued for hours, often in full costume, transforming bookstores into mini Hogwarts for a night. The atmosphere felt more like a rock concert than a book release. Pottermania wasn't just for the young. Parents, teachers, and even grandparents joined the lines, reading alongside their children, or sneaking chapters ahead. Harry Potter turned reading into a shared experience, uniting generations. Families bonded over discussions about Hogwarts houses and Quidditch. Newspapers published essays analyzing its symbolism, and even academics debated its moral and philosophical undertones. The book had transcended age, class, and geography. The magic of Hogwarts brought to life on screen. When Warner Brothers acquired the film rights, the world erupted on a new level. For fans, the idea of seeing Hogwarts on screen was both thrilling and nerve-wracking. Who could capture the spirit of Harry, Hermione, and Ron? Casting became an international obsession. After a long search, young Daniel Radcliffe was chosen as Harry Potter, a decision that drew intense media scrutiny but soon won hearts. Emma Watson and Rupert Grint completed the trio with charm and chemistry that defined the franchise. When Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone premiered in 2001, it was a global event. Fans who had queued for books now queued for tickets, donning robes and wands. The film grossed nearly $1 billion, expanding the fan base to children who had never picked up the books. The series grew darker and more mature with each sequel, evolving alongside its audience. Fans watched Daniel, Emma, and Rupert grow up on screen, mirroring their own coming of age. Adult actors like Alan Rickman, Maggie Smith, and Ralph Fiennes brought gravitas, ensuring the films appealed to all ages. Behind the scenes, however, lay countless untold stories, mishaps, improvisations, and touching moments. Secrets from the cast that fans never saw on screen. Daniel Radcliffe revealed that Harry's iconic gesture of pushing up his glasses wasn't scripted. It was simply practical. Rupert Grint's awkward humor and Emma Watson's know-it-all intensity were natural extensions of their personalities. Tom Felton admitted to teasing co-stars between takes to fuel Draco's attitude. Some confessions were bittersweet. Daniel's stunt double, David Holmes, was paralyzed during a tragic accident filming Deathly Hallows. Fires, misfires, and accidents plagued the set, but the camaraderie endured. There were humorous tales. 2 Rick Mayall's hilarious Peeves scenes were cut because no one could stay serious, and Emma Watson famously punched Tom Felton instead of slapping him in Prisoner of Azkaban. Alan Rickman, meanwhile, was told Snape's true story by J.K. Rowling years before the reveal, allowing him to act with haunting precision. The cast also spoke about the emotional pressure of fame. Radcliffe admitted he feared failing fans. Watson confessed her perfectionism mirrored Hermione's, while Grint worried about being overshadowed. Despite their insecurities, the trio's bond became the soul of the series. Easter eggs and overlooked details. J.K. Rowling and her directors embedded secrets everywhere. Hidden meanings, name symbolism, and visual clues that rewarded observant fans. Rowling's intricate planning meant clues about Horcruxes, Parseltongue, and even the Deathly Hallows appeared books before their reveals. Character names like Remus Lupin, Sirius Black, and Severus Snape were linguistic puzzles hinting at their true natures. The films continued this tradition. Portraits of obscure witches and wizards filled Hogwarts. The Marauder's map hid tiny gags. Even car plates referenced Rowling's own life. Directors left personal signatures. Chris Columbus with book accuracy, Alfonso Cuarón with subtle world-building, David Yates with visual symbolism. As the story darkened, so did the color palette, mirroring the emotional journey of its characters. The legacy lives on. Harry Potter remains a phenomenon that conquered both page and screen, uniting generations and sparking endless analysis. Every reread or rewatch reveals new secrets, proof that the wizarding world still holds magic for those who look closely. What do you think? Were there any hidden clues you spotted before this? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a new video.